Karna was born with his armor, not given it, not forged for him, not earned in battle. He was born with it, the way most people are born with skin. The kavach, a divine breastplate, and the kundala, celestial earrings, were part of his body from the first moment of his life, fused to his flesh, given to him by his father Surya, the sun god, before he had drawn his first breath. As long as he wore them, he could not be killed in battle, not by any weapon ever forged, not by any warrior ever born, not by any means that existed in any of the three worlds. Karna was, for all practical purposes, invincible. He was also the most generous man in the known world. Every morning after his prayers to the sun, Karna would stand at the river's edge and give to anyone who came to him food, gold, land, whatever he possessed, whatever was asked. He had made a vow never to refuse a request made to him in that hour. Not from weakness, not from naivety, from the absolute conviction that a man's word is the only thing that truly belongs to him. The war between the Pandavas and the Kauravas was coming. Everyone knew it, the way you know a storm is coming before the first cloud appears. And everyone knew that Karna, fighting on the side of the Kauravas, was the greatest obstacle to the Pandavas' victory. Indra, king of the gods and father of Arjuna, knew it most of all. He devised a plan. The night before Indra was to appear, Surya came to Karna in a dream. "My son," he said, "tomorrow a Brahmin will come to you at the river. He will ask for your kavach and kundala. Do not give them. They are your life. They are the only reason you are still alive in a world that has been trying to destroy you since the day you were born. Do not give them." Karna listened to his father's voice in the dream, and when it was done, he said, "I understand, and I cannot refuse him." The next morning, Karna went to the river as he always did, performed his prayers to the sun, and turned to face those who had come for alms. At the back of the line, last of all, stood a Brahmin. When the Brahmin reached him and made his request, the kavach, the kundala, nothing less, Karna looked at him for a long moment. He saw through the disguise immediately, the way a person sometimes sees through a thing, not because they are clever, but because they have been expecting it. "I know who you are," Karna said. "You are Indra. You have come for my armor because without it, your son cannot defeat me, and your son cannot lose this war. I understand completely why you are here." He paused. "Ask for what you came for." Indra, caught, exposed, standing before a man who had seen through him completely and was offering him what he came for anyway, did not know what to say. Karna took a knife. He cut the kavach from his body, slowly, carefully, the divine armor separating from his flesh with each cut, the blood running freely, and handed it across, still warm. Then he removed the kundala from his ears and held them out. The donation was complete, made in blood, offered freely to a god who had come in deceit to rob him of the one thing standing between him and death. Indra stood there, holding the blood-soaked armor in his hands. And he was moved. Not because Karna had been foolish, but because he had not been. A man who knows exactly what he is giving and gives it anyway is not deceived by the person who receives it. He has simply decided that his vow matters more than his life. Indra offered Karna a gift in return. One weapon, the Shakti, that could kill any being in all of creation, mortal or divine, to be used once and only once. Karna accepted it and saved it for Arjuna. He never used it on Arjuna. On the 14th night of the Kurukshetra war, with his own soldiers dying around him, Karna used the Shakti to save them and faced Arjuna the next morning without it. The Mahabharata does not present Karna simply as a tragic figure. It presents him as something rarer and more uncomfortable. A man who made every choice with his eyes completely open, who understood exactly what each choice would cost and made it anyway. Not from resignation, but from the absolute conviction that some things matter more than survival. His vow mattered more than his armor. His soldiers mattered more than his weapon. His loyalty mattered more than his life. Krishna himself, after Karna's death, called him the greatest man he had ever known. I think about what it means to know the cost of something completely and choose it anyway. Not because you have miscalculated, not because you are not afraid, but because you have decided that who you are matters more than what happens to you. Karna cut the armor from his own body and handed it across, still warm. I'll leave you with one question today. What have you been holding on to, knowing it is time to give it away? This has been The Long Thread. Ancient stories for the present moment. If this story stayed with you, follow the long thread and wake up to a new one tomorrow.